Hey guys, welcome back to A Word with Authors. My name is Tracy Sanders. I am a mom of 3 and author of 10 titles on Amazon. And I'm an we have a visitor peeking behind you. He wants some spotlight. He wants to share the spotlight.
No, I don't.
This is my husband, Bill. He just
Hi,
got
Bill.
back.
This is the love of my life.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. I'm also married to the love of my life. We are high school sweethearts.
Oh no, we met when we were almost 30. He pushed me in front of a bus. And
Oh,
that's how we met.
I had to get her attention.
I understand. Dangerous love.
Yeah.
So, as I was saying, I'm an author of 10 titles on Amazon, and I also enjoy supporting other authors, especially indie authors. So I started this segment to be able to do that and shine a spotlight on these amazing authors. I watch them in the community all the time to find out who is supporting who, and I like to help those who are willing to help others first. And today I have Ann Glim with me. She is the author of Begotten with Love, right?
That's right.
I haven't had a chance to check out this book. I have checked out her blog. Joanne and I met in a club called Books Go Social when I was first getting started with my video segment on YouTube called 52 Keys to Discovering, or 52 Keys to Balance Your Writing Time and Personal Time. And she actually helped me come up with that title. So I'm very thankful. And I'm thankful that we were able to meet and get together now to discuss her books and her exciting projects. Welcome, Joanne.
Thank you very much. It's nice to meet you finally in kind of person.
You too. We've been trying to get this together for about 3 weeks, and normally I'm not so scatterbrained, but I have a lot going on with the end of the school year stuff with my kids, so we still have that phase of my life going. Joanne, why don't you tell us a little bit about your book, Begotten with Love? That's an interesting title. How did you come up with that, and what inspired you to write it?
What inspired me to write it was when I was 35 years old, my uncle passed away, and I received as an sentimental inheritance from him the family Bible that had belonged to my grandmother. And it was one of these old Bibles back from the 1800s, a huge leather-bound Bible. And in there was a part of our genealogy as a family. When my aunt gave it to me, she told me, she said, the genealogy in here is not complete, so it's up to you to finish it. And she paused for a minute and she added, by the way, your maiden name is not Elliot. So I was 35 years old and realized I had no idea who I really was. That started me on a 30-year odyssey of trying to find my family. Now, I knew my mother's side of the family because I grew up with my grandparents and my mother, but my father's side of the family was pretty much a mystery. And it took us all over the United States to Sweden, and last year we finally made it to Scotland. We'd been to Ireland before, but we made it to Scotland. And so I had a lot of people who either knew me, were family that I discovered along the way, or were people that lived in the communities where I was researching that were really happy to come on board and help me find more information. Yeah, the book is a compilation of stories of family members, and as I wrote it, I was able to put it together chronologically. It starts back in the Civil War and goes through 150 years of American history and 5 generations of family.
I can't hear you as well as I could in the beginning, but maybe we'll get through this.
Sorry.
That's okay. Maybe we'll get through this. So this is sort of like a memoir type book. It's based on a true story?
It's actually more of a biography because the way I wrote it, I wanted my grandkids to have something to think about their grandparents and great-grandparents going back generations. But I didn't want to do something that was just dates and he lived during this time type of a thing. So it's written more like fiction. And what the way it's written is in the mindset of the character that I'm writing about. So when you read it, you know what the answer is because, or I do, because I've lived it and I know what happened in the end. But I wrote it as though this person was living it and didn't know. So when you see the decisions they made for their life, they were making those decisions as the book was being written.
Now, how long ago did you write this? And didn't you win an award for this recently?
I did. It was written back in, it was published in 2014, I believe. And I won the Royal Palm Literary Award for biography, first place for that year.
Wow, that's cool. Any literary award is impressive. I'm happy for you for that.
Thank
And
you.
what is the second book going to be about? Are you just going to continue the genealogy?
No, actually, I'm working on two different books. All of them are family related or family oriented in some way, but not per se biographies. The second one that I started to write on is a story, and it's kind of an adventure mystery story. It's based on something that happened, but it's actually a fictional story. And it has to do with family grief. That's called Truth Be Told. And the other one that I'm working on actively right now is called Trapped Within. And that is actually a story, it's a true story, based on the fact that 20 years ago, I endured a stroke and was totally paralyzed on one side. Couldn't walk, couldn't talk, couldn't see, and how I was blessed back to full health. It took over a year, 3 months in a rehab center where I've never worked so hard in my life. But learned a lot, and it sounds like a horror story because I think having a stroke is something that most people fear, because it is so prevalent, and most of us know somebody along the way. But there are a number of stories of things that happened that were really funny during the time. So there's a lot of humor that's woven within this story, and hopefully a lot of encouragement for people who are enduring this, because it's very easy to become discouraged. And a lot of times, I know a lot of times when I was in rehab, I would try things on my own, whether I was supposed to or not. I just would. That's part of who I am. But the next day, the doctor or the therapist or somebody would come down and tell me, now you really need to start to think about what your life may be if you're expected to live in a wheelchair. And I would think, I took some steps yesterday. Maybe I wasn't supposed to do that. But that seemed to be what happened throughout the whole time that I was going through it. Plus, because I was called aphasia when you can't speak, a lot of people don't return from that or have trouble. And I know a lot of times I still slur words, or if I'm very tired, it's difficult for me to think of a word. But I had a number of doctors that asked me to please let other people know what my experiences were, because doctors can teach from a book or talk to you through a book, but they've never experienced it. And so that's one of the reasons I wanted to write this.
That is amazing. What a great story of determination and perseverance. I am really excited to hear that. Now, you have another project besides your books called ACME, ACME. Is that how, am I saying it correctly? Can you tell us a little bit about that? That was very inspiring to read on your blog.
Thank you. It's called Academic Crossroads Memorial Endowment. And what it is a scholarship fund. It's set up specifically for peers, not peers. See, yeah, I have a word that's missing.
Young people.
No, it's set up for siblings in a family who have lost either a parent or a sibling. And a lot of times what happens in that type of situation, not only are they struggling with the death of a sibling, but they are also struggling with the fact that the finances that were earmarked for their education are now going for either legal or medical or something that has to be addressed right then and there by the family. And so we want to make sure that the dreams of these, not only young children and young adults, but if you're an adult and had a dream and it was cut short, contact us. Through the community foundation, Manatee Community Foundation, and get yourself in front of the people that may be able to help you.
You are the embodiment of the type of authors that I'm looking for and the type of people that I want to interview and let the world know more about. So thank you so much for your time today, Joanne. If you wouldn't mind, let us know the best place to find you. What's your web address or blog address, whatever you would like to share?
The web address, you can find us through www.joanneglim.com. And I'm on Facebook, so come like me. And I think that, the only other thing I can think of, I just found out last week that a short story that I wrote is going to be in an anthology this year. It will be published in October, and that's through the Florida Writers Association.
Inspiring story that you have to share, and wonderful talent and story of perseverance. I'm just so happy to meet you and thrilled that you're going to be on my blog featured in this interview so I can tell more people about you. I hope you have a great day, Joanne. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. The same to you, Tracy, and stay in touch.
I definitely will. I want to keep up with what you're doing and how you're progressing with your books and your awards. I know you'll be winning many more. Thank you guys for joining me for another A Word with Authors, and I'll have another video coming up for you soon. You never know who it's going to be, so I'm watching. Take care.